Both joining us now, member of the House Homeland Security, Judiciary and Intelligence Committees, Democratic Congresswoman Val Demings of Florida. She was an impeachment manager in Trump's first trial. Congresswoman, great to have you on the show. I'd like to get your view of what a vote against impeachment will mean in the history books. But first, can you give us a sense of the process? How quickly can this move forward? And are there any impediments to getting a vote underway?
Well, thank you so much. It's great to be back with you, but what an unbelievable day. You're absolutely right. We will impeach the President of the United States twice. The first time this has been done in history. But if we think about the last 4 years and the unbelievable behavior, the high crimes and misdemeanors, their attempts to steal an election, and most recently to incite a riot and overthrow the government. This is all about accountability, holding this president accountable. He will be impeached today. The Speaker has the votes to do that. I believe that the Senate, while we've heard a lot of rhetoric, I believe they can do anything that they have the will to do. I was pleased, encouraged, let me put it that way, to hear the remarks from Senator McConnell on yesterday. I believe the time is right. I believe the time is now, and I believe we have more bipartisan support, certainly more than we had the last time. So we'll see what happens. We can get this done if we have the political will to do it.
And for those who don't, can you explain what this will mean in the eyes of history if they vote to keep this president, to not impeach, if they vote against impeachment?
You know, I have been, as you know, I spent a lot of years in law enforcement. I've taken several oaths. Each one I meant when I raised my hand and swore that I would protect and serve the Constitution against all enemies. I have been extremely disappointed and on some occasions angry at the lack of commitment to the oath from many of my Republican colleagues. We're talking about military commanders. We're talking about members of law enforcement. We're talking about those who served on the bench, who are now members of Congress, who have apparently forgotten their oath. But you know what? We are not going to let their lack of commitment stop us from fulfilling our constitutional duties. They'll go down in history for not supporting our Constitution, for helping the president incite a riot, and not supporting the rule of law. They'll have to answer for that. But let me say this, we know them by the fruits that they bear, and we know what they have done and what they have not stood up for to protect.
Congresswoman Demings, It's Willie Geist. It's good to see you this morning. As you pursue and make the case for impeachment today, I think it's important to get a full accounting of what happened inside that building, because frankly, every news story we hear and every new day that goes by, it gets a little bit worse. We're hearing accounts of what was done to Capitol Police officers beyond the death of the one officer even. Can you tell our viewers and tell the country right now what that day was like for you? As you say, you were the chief of Orlando Police. You certainly know how to handle yourself, but I imagine that had to be a terrifying several hours.
Well, Willie, thank you for that. I was certainly in a different position than I was used to being in as a law enforcement officer and a chief of police. I was in the House gallery. I was glad to have that opportunity to watch the peaceful transition of power. We knew that the protesters, we thought they were demonstrators, but we knew that they were outside. We were getting reports that they were getting louder and more angry and more agitated. We knew that Capitol Police had some encounters, and I was seated in the gallery. I got up and stood at one of the doors to the gallery because I was just very uncomfortable sitting there with my back to the door, and within minutes we were told that there was a breach of the Capitol, which was just totally unbelievable.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.